Welcome, 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 everybody. It's your girl Delores. And I no longer have to fight for my life. J News is back. Hi, J News. What do you want to tell the good people out there?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while. Uh, I am grateful to be back. It has been an experience, to say the least, one that will continue on till the break of dawn, as they used to say back in the day. But as always, I must come in and say to everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your good brother Jay News, and we're back at it again here. Me and the lovely Dolores, Hit the Ropes podcast, episode 10, here on the 24th of November, 2024. We only got about 6 weeks left of the year, Dolores. Lots of wrestling still to go. Lots of wrestling that happened over the last week that we will be breaking down and analyzing here on the Hit the Ropes podcast today. First and foremost, how did you feel about the week that was in pro wrestling?
Busy, confusion. For those, we're gonna have a little programming note that it was on me because J News went here, so he can't take liability for it. It was a lot of confusion
Okay.
because even though I had saw the matches, I did not see the actual backstage promos and stuff
Mm.
that happened with Raw. So we'll get into those little weird things. Even when it comes to MLW, a lot of confusion. It was on YouTube. We did a apocalypse last week, and this week they had a slaughterhouse, and so that some people shouldn't be on there, and they beginning to be like, I used to be like, oh, indie wise, I'll put them like third. They're slowly falling, and I'm sad about that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start off since the good brother J News here. I'm gonna start off first, and I'm gonna pass the baton because y'all, I know y'all tired of me saying and those people and them and the opponents. I know y'all was sick and tired. I was sick and tired of me saying that. Listen. We are now at the Hit the Ropes podcast for the review, ladies and gentlemen. I know you ready for this review. And you know what? I'm going to start out the review. Hold on. Sister K was about to start out the review, and then all of a sudden my computer told me, no. Not in my computer. The slide. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start off with Monday Night Raw from WWE. I'm not gonna go into detail because, ladies and gentlemen, I had saw this last week, and you saw this last week too because anybody who was here got the results during the ticker part of our show. I gave you the answers, and I was like, oh, okay. When I thought about it, I was like, Dolores, you messed up, chick. You messed up. But I'm here to take ownership. So you all see it scrolling below. We won't go into detail. Janice, did you see Monday Night Raw?
Um, yeah, I think a lot of it just, uh, at least for the last 2 weeks or so, has been a lot of rinse and repeat. So I don't necessarily have anything to add outside of some semblance of confusion here and there when it comes to like Survivor Series matches and like um the anticipation of what's going to happen for this 10th anniversary New Day related Raw episode that they're supposed to have. So outside of those two things necessarily, no, I don't have much to.
Yeah. I'm like, y'all need to break up at this point. I don't know what to say to that. At a certain point, I'm like, break up. Just break up. But they won't do it. They won't let me have my moment where they break up. And so I'm just gonna have to, as they said, deal with it. Which your mama like, deal with it. And I'm like, not fair. Not fair. That's not what I want to do. I want you to, you know how I thought for a while Biggie was gonna come back. Okay, that's what I.
I mean, he's still trying to, from a personal standpoint, he's trying all that he can in order to make a
But
return
I
to the
mean,
ring.
even as like an on-screen character to be,
That that
uh,
that might be something he can do. He just can't get physical. So I think
yeah,
that
I
that's why.
think that would be the best thing for him.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We are where we are. Nobody can change that. So on to the next thing, ladies and gentlemen, and which is NXT, ladies and gentlemen. NXT was on the 19th, episode 760. And these are the matches rolling below. First, we had the Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match. Nathan Frazier with Axiom in his corner defeated Eddie Thorpe. Lord, I don't want to talk about that man. Oh, Lord, I can't stand that man. Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match. Stephanie Vacure defeated Jada Parker. Non-title match, Tony D with Andrea Rizzo defeated Brooks Jensen with Sean Spears in his corner. Ashanti Adonis and Carmen Petrovic defeated Brentley Reese and Dion Lennox.
Mhm.
Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match, Zaria defeated Ren Sinclair with Charlie Dempsey in her corner. And last but not least, the WWE title number one contendership match. Ridge Holland defeated Andre Chase to end Chase U. Ridge Holland, I don't like your character, but I appreciate the work you did to end that suffering we had with Chase U.
Uh, I think everybody's got their likes and dislikes about stuff. I'm completely for goofy wrestling when it makes me laugh. And Chase U made me laugh.
I
Um,
just want to know, they really didn't go into too much detail of what kind
yeah,
of addiction or problem he had to spend that money on Chase U.
they didn't because they didn't. He was gambling. He was gambling. He was gambling it away, basically. That was the addiction.
Also,
But
he was having allegedly. I'm gonna
uh,
use the word allegedly.
uh,
He was having a Jay Leno moment.
absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely, just without the bruises on his face. But I think I think that for the most part, uh, with the wrestlers that are a part of Chase U, I don't necessarily, I don't foresee, I can't project what the WWE and NXT are planning to do with those individual uh, talents. So, hopefully it's something positive and that they're productive members of the roster. But right now, I just don't see any of them standing out outside of their group. They tried with Thea Hale.
Yeah, she was doing
Before.
good, and then all of a sudden it just messed up, and I was very unhappy with that
Yeah,
because I
they
think she
tried with.
has potential.
Yeah, and she's super young, so it's not like she doesn't have time. It's really more for uh, the big dude. I forget what his name is. Um, the Aussie guy, and then B Priestley's boyfriend, Turbo Terry. What the fuck is his name that they gave him now?
I don't know.
the other
I
guy, the other guy is part of the crew.
listen.
Uh,
I
and I don't know what they're gonna do with Mr. Chase. Like that's just weird. At the end of the day, so we'll
I,
see. We'll
Mr.
see how that
Chase
breaks
might
down.
be on the way out of the door.
Oh,
I
he
think
might be
so.
on the chopping block. Is that what you're saying? Damn.
Yeah, he might be on the chopping block.
Damn.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the chat, you will see. I think you will see it on J News' side too. There, I put J News' link in my chat,
Hmm.
so you all can. Did it show? It showed up on Twitch. It didn't do my chat, but I'll do my channel in a minute. So you can go check out the good man. We'll talk about more of him later. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on to the next show, which was SmackDown for WWE. That was on 11/22. SmackDown 13/18. Ladies and gentlemen, the The matches are scrolling below. First, we had for the WWE Women's United States Title Tournament first round triple threat match. Chelsea Green defeated Bianca Belair and Blair Davenport. We had WWE United States Title match. LA Knight, the champion, defeated Santos Escobar. Bailey and Naomi defeated Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton by DQ. Montez Ford defeated Tommaso Ciampa. J News, did you see any of these matches?
I
And do you
did.
have any quotes or ideas or thoughts about
I
this?
saw the show. I feel like the women's United States Championship overall is Chelsea Green's to lose. At this point, I feel like this is gonna be she's gonna be the first champion. That's my take. Because I don't, in my own personal opinion, in my own personal view, with the way that WWE's been going as of late, giving it to one of the existing long-standing members of the women's roster really doesn't do anything for that belt. I understand people always talk about, well, you got to establish it. And I was like, all these some of the girls who've been with on the roster for a decade, 10 plus years at this point, or just it's been enough for them to be repeated women's champions on both brands. So I think having one of the ladies who hasn't had a chance at the mainline women's championships is probably the best route to go, which is why I say, or I have it in my head that Chelsea Green is going to be the first WWE United States Women's Champion. That's that portion of it. Then I would also, damn it, I would also then say that for the other matches that occurred on the night, well, Jade Cargill ended up being uh, taken out on Friday night. She was seen crashed on top of a vehicle, laid out um, during that United States Women's Champion contender match and stuff like that. Now it's a whole who done it. Some people were speculating it was Naomi. Other people speculating that it had to have been Liv and Raquel Rodriguez. Um, I I think it was Bailey.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, she's been too happy too long. It has to end. She's been too
So, and
because
now,
the thing about it is Bianca does not like her, but has not explained to everyone why she doesn't like her.
right.
She's it's just almost like something about you I don't like. And then the interaction they had the other day where she was just like when Bailey almost questioned if they had Naomi's back, and she was just like, you know, we always got you, right, sis? And it almost seemed like she was even thinking to herself, hey, Bailey, you stepping out of line here. This is some black girl magic, and you don't step in here and want to talk. Stay on your side. And I can understand that because it's like, I know everybody out here, even people who are listening. You've had a friend and you are very close with that friend, and y'all don't have to say nothing. It's understood. It's a sister and a brotherhood. But somebody jumps in and wants to insert why they are a better friend to that person than you are, and you like, if you don't back up, I'm about to knock all your little 32 out. Just back up. Back up. You don't understand this, okay?
At the end of the
Listen.
day, I feel like that's a good storyline for the women's division to have currently because it's not championship based per se, right? So I like what they're doing there. If it's not Bailey, then if they make it out to be one of those real surprises, uh, like one of the women's wrestlers
The only way I could think
coming
this
back
is,
or something like that from injury or something.
yeah, I think
Then
it's either going to, it could be, I don't think, what's her face would come back as a heel, but Charlotte definitely would.
yeah, she would.
Charlotte would definitely come back.
And
But
they had their
what's that?
slight interaction last year or whatever, where it was
Yeah.
really smug between the two of them. So I can definitely see that.
And
Um,
she's a, and it would be on the behalf of Bailey because right now Bailey is fighting for a friendship that doesn't seem to be like her. Naomi's other friends are like, hey, you can't trust her. That's not your friend. That's not your friend. And so it's kind of seeming like Bailey is out in the wilderness by herself. So
pretty much.
This would make it easier for her to be like, well, I got a true friend, somebody who stood by my side and stood up to you all, Charlotte. And plus, Charlotte wants to travel with her man again. Go ahead, Charlotte.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, the next show on our list would be AEW. And we're going to start with AEW Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen. It was on 11/20. Uh, it was AEW's 268. Matches are scrolling below. The Don Callis family, Brian Cage, Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, Lance Archer, defeated Mark Davis, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricochet, and Will Ospreay. We saw Chris Statlander defeat Hikaru Shida. We had a 201 handicap match. Bobby Lashley with MVP and Shelton Benjamin defeated Cheeseburger Joe Keys by referee's decision, which we already know that was going. Once we saw Cheeseburger Joe Keys face Bobby Lashley, I already knew how that match was going to go. I went up and got me something to eat. Claudio Castagnoli defeated Darby Allin. Ernst Cassidy defeated Willa Yuta. Did you see any of these matches, J News, and what did you
I,
think?
I saw the whole show. I know that they're leading into to do this in order here. So the whole Don Callis family thing with Takeshita and all that, and all them boys. I know they're leading into the Mark Davis versus Kyle Fletcher feud. This is part of the go home week for the Full Gear, and Will Ospreay had his interaction with Kyle Fletcher here. Ricochet has had his light interaction with Takeshita here, and then Mark Davis got involved here and there. Powerhouse Hobbs, he's involved in all of this just because he just came back. I feel like they'll now that Full Gear is over, they'll be putting him into a different fray with different people. So I'm looking forward to that.
I
Uh,
just want to speak since we're talking about AEW and I think GCW. No, GCW is a little bit down the way on our review. But did you see what Ricky Stark said?
I did see what Ricky said, and for all intents and purposes, uh, I think everyone's gonna have an opinion on what he said. Um, I don't know what the hell's going on. So to be quite
He
honest,
has been very clear. Some people say it was a work. And my thing about it is the same complaint that he stood in the GCW ring and spoke about is the same complaint that he had spoke to private publications about and hinted that he was available was not being used.
right?
Scorpio Sky also went to GCW and wrestled. Uh, QT when he was not QT. What is the one that Punk is doesn't like?
Uh, I don't know.
Not QT.
Bobby Fish?
No, no, no. The one he talked about his mama.
Oh, I don't recall right now. I'm
You
sorry.
know, they were a part of the suit together. CM Punk and him. It's not clicking for me. But he also went to GCW for a little bit during the time that he wasn't quote unquote, as they said, allowed to work at AEW. It seems to be if you're not allowed to work at AEW, you go to GCW and work. Because that's the place that they're like, well, we ain't using you. You can go there and get used.
Yeah, I think from an indie standpoint, right? GCW is the standard bearer of super indies right now in the current pro wrestling landscape, right? PWG doesn't have that vibe anymore. Wrestling Revolvers like a little bit down the road. CZW doesn't
Yeah,
have
they seem to be
that
on a
anymore.
big break for the past few months.
Yeah, so GCW carries that cachet because they're the biggest indie that there is right now. But in regards to what Ricky said, look, it just seems that seems to be the standard practice over at AEW. When you're in the doghouse, um, you
GCW is the open house.
right, GCW's open house, and at the end of the day, You don't get called upon. Now, um, there is a little bit of a conflict for me here because yeah, Ricky made his comments at the GCW show yesterday, which was also in Jersey. Um, but it's also been commented by plenty of the wrestling media who was at Full Gear yesterday that Ricky Starks was backstage yesterday. So I don't necessarily, like I said, that's why I chose to say I don't necessarily know what's going on. To your point, can this be a work? Sure, but why keep Ricky off of TV as long as they have at this
Yeah,
point?
and Ricky has been talking to everybody he can talk to and
Yeah,
tweeting everywhere he can that he's available,
yeah,
and they just not like. I think sometimes I don't know if you people know about the call and response. If I call, you're gonna respond sometimes how I want you to.
right.
So if I go, hey, sorry, I can't tell you about this match. Really can't pronounce it. And then somebody in the chat will go, well, why can't you pronounce it? And I'm like, well, because Jay News is normally here and he's not here today. And so, well, why Jay News not here? And it opens up a door
Mm.
because I have thrown this hint out to go down this path to give you what I really want to tell you. And sometimes he does that. Oh, I'm chilling. I'm having a good time. Well, why you ain't on TV? I don't know why not on TV.
Well,
I'm available.
it's
And every time he does that, it opens the door and a fan is always going to ask. And he's been
no,
saying it for months on end.
I
Hey, I'm available. I don't know why they're not using me, but I'm just chilling.
I get that, and for all intents and purposes, they walk a fine line when it comes to the pro wrestling stuff, right? With certain talent and things of that nature, but like with him saying what he said at that GCW show and then him appearing backstage at the AEW show because he is still an AEW employee. Um,
Do you think he was summoned to come back?
no, if you're not from my understanding of how AEW
I
works,
mean, what I mean summoned is like they saw what he said. They knew he's in the same area. They
mhm,
want to have a conversation.
I've never heard or has it ever been implied that Tony Khan's that kind of person? Like Vince McMahon's something else, right? Or whatever the case is. If
Yeah.
somebody he'll tell a talent to come backstage. I see you said some shit to the dirt sheets. Like let's get this shit straightened out or get your ass released, right? But I've never heard
I
anyone.
don't think he wanted to release them. I think maybe he just wanted to have a conversation. From my understanding, the talks between the two of them, AEW side and Ricky's side,
Hmm?
have not gone well. And some people take that as Ricky is like Miro. I'm not
Right.
going to do certain things because I have gotten to a certain place and I'm not going to let you drop the ball with me or my character. But maybe they were like, okay, well, you say you want to work, let's figure out something. Can you come, to the show tomorrow and we figure out something? Because they have been known to last minute deal and put things together. So maybe they thought,
Oh,
okay, we could just
yeah,
have a
yeah.
conversation, see how it goes. But
I'm
if
with that.
Ricky doesn't want the ball dropped on him, then that's cool.
I th-
Because we've seen so many people from there feel like at a certain point, I felt like I was at my peak and then I smacked down to the ground and I haven't heard anything. Or if I got injured, I really didn't get any responses or anything.
I
I
think
mean,
there's
Miro has been he built his character up,
I
but I
I
don't think he wants to go back to video game Miro.
I don't. This is my own personal opinion, and I want to be real quick about this. I've never been a fan of his
Yeah.
as a Miro. So the talent, right? The professional wrestler, not the person per se, or whatever, not the human being, but the talent, the professional wrestler. Like I can get two shits about him. Never did in WWE, never did in AEW. I understood he was over. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter to me if he's on TV or not. Ricky's different for me because I've watched Ricky on the Indies. I watched the work that Ricky did early on during the pandemic with the NWA, and then when he came on the scene in AEW, this is a good young talent to build the company around. A la, we'll get to Daniel Garcia later, and everybody and all the other younger guys on the AEW roster, right? And then a lot of people have intimated or insinuated that after the whole thing went down with CM Punk, that's when everything shifted for Ricky, right? Um,
Also, I think his association with Cody, and now Cody being like, Cody at first left and was like, I appreciate that place, da 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 da.
yeah,
To now it's like he is almost on CM Punk level sometimes during interviews where he is like, it was trash.
yeah,
I don't, and so I think once we got to that line where Cody was like, I'm gonna speak my truth, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, that everybody was like,
I feel like
oh, okay.
a lot of the back and forth with those the factioned off wrestlers. I think that needs to end in a way, because even FTR, quote unquote, were CM Punk guys and they're still loyal to AEW. So it's like guys need to understand how to compartmentalize and understand how the business works. And I had a point in my brain, which I'm going to say now, about this whole Ricky Starks situation in comparison to a lot of people complain about how Jay White has been booked, right? And how his character's been booked and how he's been booked on television. Here's a big waving flag for everybody who doesn't notice. Jay White's been on TV the entire time he's been signed. No matter how bad his booking has been, no matter how much people disagree with where his character has gone, Jay White's always been front and center. Where the hell has Ricky Starks been the last 8 months?
Well, again, if you,
Nowhere to be seen.
but see, some people are not gonna let you uh, listen. He
In
could have took it as if you
in
know how they
TV,
do in wrestling when they give you the
huh?
I think you're about to leave. I'm gonna
Mhm.
trash you.
Yeah, no,
And
I
he
get
like, and
no
so
problem.
he there has been open signs, him backstage at WWE, him with Cody during WrestleMania weekend, him in the picture of the box, and while AEW had things going on and pay-per-views and stuff like that, he has been heavily riding and hanging out with not just Cody, but a lot of people in WWE. So
Hmm.
it's obvious soon as that door opens and Tony says, well, I hope you come. He gonna slam the door and run off the WWE. So at a certain point, he has to know. Now that this is out, just like Penta and his brother, when you know it's out, you gonna get the trash deal on the way out.
See, but the thing, and this is the where I wanted to go with the whole point about him not being on TV, right? Bro, you had about a when all this stuff started happening, or at least rumoring about, he had at least almost a year left on his contract, Dolores. A year. So
He
there's a
got injured during that time, I thought, and then that's when after he got injured, he got better. That's when it started to
yeah, no,
go south.
his injury didn't last as long as people thought it did. And for all intents and purposes, you have that much time left on your contract, and you're not gonna be professional about it. There's a reason why it's called professional wrestling, right? You gotta go out there and do business. Is what the phrase is in the business. You got to go out there and do business, no matter what. If people are asking you to do something that's against your own moral beliefs and things of that nature, that's one thing, or whatever. But if people are coming up with something and they're giving you chicken shit, it's up to you to make it fucking chicken soup. You know what I'm saying? And he hasn't given himself the opportunity to do that, which is the perception of it all. I don't. That's why I'm saying I don't know what's going on, because a lot of what has been said is all conjecture and assumptions and things of that nature. I don't know the conversations that happened between Tony Khan and Ricky Starks. All I know is that I want to see Ricky Starks on my TV. That's what I know. So make it happen.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, that's really where
that's
I'm at
what
with
I
it.
think. I think sometimes people don't realize that. That's why you almost it didn't dawn on me that there could be that they think that they're not gonna get the great that their character is gonna be trashed until Penta and them were like, no, no, we don't, we, no, 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 we want to get our hair smooth. Hey, no, we AEW, AEW. But we had already heard you all pretty much had talks and was down and locked in. So it's like at a certain point, and they were on TV constantly.
Yep.
It was a point where I feel like some part of them knows. On the way out, they're not gonna get a good thing. Hey Jaleel, hey Tori's brain, hey the educated natural, hey Ruby Spot. Thank you, Ruby. Because Ruby shared it out. This is the thing, Restream. Um, could have been me because I had the chat bot for a minute. But since I've taken the chat bot off and I've been back to what we've been doing before, chats don't come up.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
So I had to log in onto my side to see you all. We appreciate you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We want to make sure you know we see you.
Yeah.
And
But to finish
I
the,
don't know why it's doing that. Oh, see, look, there you go.
it's
J
just
News is YouTube.
it's it's yeah. Restream is restream at this point. But to finish the point I was making, like I said before, I want to see Ricky Starks on my TV. Uh, Tony Khan, Ricky Starks, whoever else back there has the handle on these talents, make it happen. At the end of the day, same thing with Penta and Ray Phoenix. Those dudes are gonna be they're still on contract for another 7 months. Put them sons of bitches on TV for something. I don't care. You have the talent there. Like I said, I can care less about a damn Miro. I don't care at the end of the day with him.
Yeah, I think with me, even without Miro being in there, to see this happen repeatedly,
Yeah.
especially to melanated superstars, it makes me be like, I get angry. When I saw Scorpio Sky wrestling in GCW repeatedly
Mhm.
lately, it pissed me off because I'm like, I can see he has the go. He ready to get it. He high flying and flipping and doing his thing. Why he can't do that in AEW? He was supposed to be the first black. We thought he was gonna be the first black champion. We was rooting for him, and now he goes from that to having to wrestle GCW.
I,
Dan the dude and the rest of them. That's crazy.
yet again, I think it's one of those situations where, especially when it comes to TV wrestling, um, and I forget who said this about Swerve, but they basically said that Kenny Omega, as a matter of fact, last week when he had his interview on Fightful, he said that they were giving Swerve spots on TV shows that basically had him being used as an enhancement talent. But what did Swerve do with those opportunities? Instead of him looking like an enhancement talent, not only did he enhance the wrestler he was in there with, but he enhanced himself.
But
Right? So
who other than Mox, who has come back from injury
mhm.
better than they left in AEW? I can't think of a handful of people.
No, because from no. I think outside of Chris Statlander, maybe Chris,
Yeah.
but outside of Stat, like you know,
And there's a I think that's a disconnect. If you're high, you get injured, you have to build yourself back up.
right?
But it's the point where they build up to lose, and then it's like, what's the point? Why are we doing this? Chris, I was absolutely angry when we get to the pay per view
Mm.
that Chris did not win because Mercedes. What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm not excited for her run like I expected to be. And I'm a diehard, listen, boss chain over here, Mercedes Monet fan. I'm singing, I'm dancing, I'm enjoying it. But I'm not as excited. The matches are good. Outside of that, even sometimes the matches are a little clunky at the beginning, middle, and end. But sometimes I'm like, okay, wouldn't this be the moment to kind of like elevate her? Camille not going nowhere with her.
That the
And then we had that stupid Mariah May
we'll, we'll
segment.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But let me let me finish up with what was left on the show. Uh, they had the Bobby Lashley thing on Dynamite where it was basically 2-on-1. Shouts to Cheeseburger. Cheeseburger's an OG.
I
Big
love
time.
Cheeseburger.
Big
And he's
time.
been on in GCW too.
Yeah. But Cheeseburger's an ROH original. He really is. So it's not like Cheeseburger's really some standard jobber at the end of the day. Like Cheeseburger's got a following. He's an indie darling here in the Northeast. People love Cheeseburger. So it was good to see him on Dynamite. That match between Claudio Castagnoli and Darby Allin was a banger. Those two, I figured that match was going to look the way that it did, and it went off with beyond tilt there. And then Orange Cassidy versus Wheeler Yuta. delivered what it was supposed to deliver, along with the with the ending there. So solid episode of Dynamite before Full Gear.
Yeah. I really did think this is a slightly better episode than the one week before.
Mm-hmm.
But uh when it comes to when we talk about the pay-per-view, was very confused at the ending and wanted to scream. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go back into AEW land. So I go places J News don't go.
Mm-hmm.
And this place is ROH, Ring of Honor, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ring of Honor Club 91 on the 21st. These are the matches listed below. I did see my husband, one of my husbands, wrestle. It was Gabe Kidd defeating Angelico.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Shane Taylor Productions, Lee Moriarty and Shane Taylor with Sean Dean and Trish Adore in their corner, defeated Beef and JD Drake. Kevin Knight defeated Serpentico. Tomohiro Ishii defeated Mike Bennett. The Briscoes, old match of Mark and Jay Briscoe, defeated. This is J News right here.
Hold on a second.
Ken Sai.
No, no, hold on. It was it was Katsuhiko. It was Katsuhiko Nakajima and Kensuke Sasaki.
Yes, see, J News got that. That's why he back, ladies and gentlemen. Shingo Takagi, ladies and gentlemen. It was defeated Ari Daivari with Mark Sterling in his corner. For the ROH Women's World Title Proving Ground match, Athena, the champion, defeated Leela Gray. For the ROH World Television Championship, Brian Cage defeated AR Fox. I, I'm upset because I feel like some of these people don't need to be on this show. They need to be on the main show. Well, I'm tired
Yeah.
of seeing some of the people on the main show. They need to go back down the development of Ring of Honor.
So I mean, to mention a few things here on the ROH card. Kevin Knight's match versus Serpentico was dope. I love the fact that Kevin Knight's getting to show off on US on other US promotions outside of New Japan. So big shouts to Kevin Knight. Um, the ROH Women's Title Proving Ground match, much to the same point that you had about Mercedes Moné, I have about Athena at this point. What are
Yes.
we doing? What are we doing?
And the fact that you put her in this little gauntlet, whatever you got going on.
What are we doing? Like, I love the character work. I love the backstage promos and stuff like that. But like, there's more she needs to do. And I get it that she wants to be the one to take ROH to another level. But like, without ownership taking the brand to another level, there's only but so much the talent can do. You know what I'm saying? So this is really more on Tony Khan than it is Athena. Athena needs to be on AEW's main roster, and that I think would be a good shift for the women's division on AEW proper. And I'm sure that the match between Brian Cage and AR Fox was a freaking banger because those two dudes are freaking hella talented, and I remember their matches from back in the day with Lucha Underground. So those dudes, they've always stood out to me.
I think what really made me very angry about some of these women being in ROH is when at the pay per view we saw these women all together, and I'm like, you need to come to the main roster. What are we doing here? You are fighting for so you can use them for a gauntlet, but you can't use them every week. Make that make sense, Jay.
It's not enough TV time for everybody, but I do get the frustration. There are
I mean,
some
I get to see Turbo, Florida, and Magnum every week, and you tell me you can't take their little jobber match that they have against somebody who really ain't going nowhere and doing nothing, and not put a woman's match in the mix of it who can actually do the work.
they're look, I don't, like I said, everybody's got their frustrations with the booking of the shows, and rightly so. I I can sympathize with how everybody feels, but at the end of the day, like it's like I was saying about the talent, and I'll say the same thing about me as a fan. There's only but so much I can do about like complaining or like saying my piece or whatever the case is as to how Tony's booking these matches and or not booking certain talent. And it's like I don't know what his logic is around certain things. So we just got to appreciate them while they're on the TV screen and make
Also,
sure that we're
Tony,
supporting them on their own.
Triple H, everybody. I don't get this at GCW as much
Mm.
or any other indie show. I enjoy women's wrestling. I don't enjoy the fact that I'm looking at their cracking tits every 2 minutes.
Okay.
The super zoom in, the the up angle shots that's doing. Triple H and Tony Khan do it a lot, and that irritates me
I mean,
because I understand you're catering to your male audience, but us females will buy a lot more if we were then had better options. Also, I want to tell WWE a $400 title. Really?
what now?
That new CM Punk title is like 400 some
Yeah,
dollars.
their special edition and replica belts are supremely overpriced. So yeah,
I'm like, you know, I love CM Punk, but I don't love him that much. I'll tell you that. Ladies and gentlemen, we had AEW Rampage 172 on the 22nd, and these are the matches scrolling below. Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa defeated Harley Cameron and Nyla Rose. Juice Robinson defeated the Butcher, and the conglomeration Mark Briscoe, Rocky Romero, Tomohiro Ishii defeated the Dark Order of Alex Reynolds, Eva Uno, and John Silver. Uh, that's the only three matches because they had a lot of backstage in
yeah,
ring
right,
kind
right.
of promos to set up for the pay per view on the next night, ladies and gentlemen. J News, you got anything to say about this?
No, not about Rampage per se. Everything was more or less status quo for
I
Rampage.
wish they had just did Rampage and Collision back to back and just left this because this right here was just for me. It was over with. As you all know, ladies and gentlemen, there was nothing on Collision because we had a pay per view. Ladies and gentlemen, it was Full Gear. We did go over the preview of it last week. And we're going to start off with the kickoff, ladies and gentlemen, of Full Gear, the 0 Hour. Anna Jay defeated Deonna Purrazzo with Tyra Valkyrie in her corner. Buddy Matthews defeated Dante Martin and Commander and the Beast Mortos. Big Boom AJ with Big Justice defeated QT Marshall. Jay News, do you have anything to say about these matches that happened on the 0 Hour?
I just want to make a comment about the negativity behind what's been going the angle that was played out with Big Boom AJ, Big Justice, the Rizzler, and QT Marshall. Uh, I am of the liking of goofy wrestling, right? But I'm also aware that professional wrestling is a business, and that in order for AEW to grow, they're going to need to be able to bring in the casual fan. I, as a diehard AEW fan from the jump, was very vehement about fuck the casual fan and let this be for the quote unquote the sickos, right? But if AEW wants to make money, they want to turn a profit and things of that nature, they have to bring in the casual fan. This is what this was about. This is why they brought in Big Broom AJ and Big Justice and the Wrestler to get non-wrestling fans to watch a wrestling event to see if those fans would stick uh, for future purposes. And the angle went off as great as well as it could. Shouts to QT Marshall and Big Boom AJ, who is a former professional wrestler in his own right, for doing what they did with that angle and that match. And from what I am aware of, it's gotten insane views via social media, which is what this was for. So it succeeded. I didn't get to watch the other two matches on the kickoff show. But anytime Anna Jay and Deonna Purrazzo are on TV is a good thing. And anytime
Yeah, it was a good match. It had its little hiccups, but it was the fact that Anna could not win until Taya got kicked out from ringside. And J News, I would like to tell you,
Mm,
the referee saw Taya get involved,
mm,
saw her hit her,
mm,
and decided to kick her out. Not DQ, because I saw this woman hit one of the participants.
mm.
It was that, let's keep it going, you just get out. And then 2 seconds later, the match was over. Why are we just going to DQ? That would have been the same thing.
I don't know.
That would irritate him.
But
That irritate
and then to also say this, Buddy Matthews winning a match on AEW TV is always a plus. At the end of the day, the dude's, I think he's one of the best in-ring performers that there is, and because AEW is so steadfast on their in-ring high work rate wrestlers, and Buddy Matthews is one of your best, like there has to be a point where you showcase him a bit more. And this was a good showcase. Shouts to Commander for doing what he does. Frank's still out here doing the Lord's work, and Dante's Dante. So that's what it is. So.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on to the main card right here.
Mm.
And I'm going to tell you all the matches and the results. As you see on the screen, AEW World Tag Team Title 4-Way match. Private Party, Quinn and Zay retain their championships by defeating the Outrunners of Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd, the Kings of Black Throne, which is Brody King and Malachi Black, and the Acclaim, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. MJF defeated Roderick Strong. For the AEW TBS title match, Mercedes Moné with Camille in her corner.
Don't Camille. No Camille.
But Camille was in her corner, but
She was not.
I'm just saying, Camille, I hate her. I hate to say it, but she just listen. Y'all want to know something about me? Camille gets a crawl with me,
Mm.
okay? Because she is always there, but no, not there. Like you know, how you just see somebody and you be like, "Oh, I didn't see you standing over in the corner." That's Camille, ladies and gentlemen. She irks my nerves on a new level because I feel like she has had chance after chance. And watching indie wrestling, I have seen women like Megan Bain not get chances, as much chances, as bigger spotlights as Camille has, and can't do anything with it. But again, Camille, I can understand you wanting to stay in GCW. Stand by your man. Okay? She dates Joey Janela.
Who?
Megan Bain.
Oh, I
Hmm.
was not aware of that.
Yeah, I was made aware of that this week, and I was like,
Oh,
oh, yes,
okay.
buddy.
All
So
right.
I can understand you want to stand by your man, but the AEW has tried her out. So I have
Well,
no clue why.
uh,
She
yeah,
has the looks, the talent. I have seen her pick in GCW grown, huge men up and slam them like they were nothing.
yeah,
I don't understand why she has the charisma, the talent, the looks. Why is she not getting these shots like Camille is on these stages where she is the top person? She doesn't have these things. Yes, she's a powerhouse, but she's not really that agile. She's not a great talker. Her looks are great. I give her that. But past that, I don't want to see her.
I hear you. I hear you.
That's irritating. That and you got Athena on ROH. You need to send Camille on ROH. That's what you need to do. Listen, Jay White defeated Adam Page. Kyle Fletcher defeated Will Ospreay. That was a great match. I like that. AEW TNT title match. Daniel Garcia defeated Jack Perry in a title change. Go Daniel. AEW International title match. Konosuke Takeshita defeated Ricochet. Go Ricochet. Bobby Lashley with MVP and Shelton Benjamin in his corner defeated Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana in his corner. We're going to talk about that. AEW World Title match. John Moxley defeated Ernst Cassidy. Jay News. I know
Mhm.
you saw this.
Yeah, I did.
And
Absolutely.
I want to say, first thing that kind of ticked me off was that Mercedes match. Second thing that ticked me off is that
Hold on a second.
Swerve,
Time out. Let's do this in order. Why did the Mercedes versus Chris Statlander match piss you off?
because if I am a big believer, if your reign is not working, I mean,
Uh-huh.
even my good brother Cody,
Uh-huh.
it's time for you. Now I see, but you got to give him credit in WWE. They see that people don't like his reign, and they use it as part of his storytelling where he got into it with Carmelo about it.
Mhm.
Okay, that's great. Mercedes Moné is like, y'all gonna keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And it's like, can we switch it over? Can we just she's had it for a good amount of time now. Can we just switch it over? Can we get rid of her at this point? I love her, but I don't love her in this situation.
It,
I would rather see her and Athena go at it.
I agree with you, but to the narrative that is professional wrestling, you have to have reason for it, right? So in this case, because they did build this feud with her and Chris Statlander, I thought that the match was great. It was Mercedes' best match on AEW
Yeah,
TV.
it's the best match. I just don't like the result. That's what
No,
it is.
I understand that. I understand the results thing, but I want to say one thing um, that's very specific. When anytime there's an AEW women's talent who needs to be either revived and or put on a certain pedestal from an in-ring perspective, they put them in the ring with Chris Statlander. There's a reason behind that. That young lady is one of the best in-ring performers, male or female, that there is in professional wrestling. And I, for one, was glad that her and Mercedes had the kind of match that they did. Now, whether or not Chris should have won the TBS championship back is up for debate. But
That would have made room for her to go for Mercedes to go for the bigger championship. For her
sure,
to
but they
start
do
Rick Shop and be more.
but they do have. I think people need, I think we need to keep it in context, right? Within the AEW universe. At this point, they have Mariah tied into this other Mariah May, that is, who is the AEW Women's Champion. They have her tied into another feud, or they expanded on it or
We knew
created
they
it.
were going to break up, but the way they broke up was wild.
Yeah, but they're going with whatever story they want to go with it. They have their
And I also that kind of ticked me off. I also under like the I'm supposed to be limp and unconscious, but I'm going to cross my legs and adjust my skirt.
well, you have to do that part.
Listen, it was the fact that when she was landing with her legs closed, her skirt down. She moved to the side and throwed her arm and scooted her skirt to just make it, and then she just limped out. And I was like,
Yeah,
lady, could you not like
it's
you were
it's,
already it wasn't nothing showing when you hit the ground.
it's
You could have
wrestling.
just laid limp like that, and I would have took that believable. Then you'd have
It's
turn
wrestling.
your whole body to the side, cross your legs, and then just
It's
let
it's
limp.
it's wrestling. At the end of the day, that to me, that I didn't care. I didn't
I
care
am
much
very
for it.
big on the details of certain things. Another detail that kind of irked me a little bit, not as much. Okay, Hurt Lock.
Mhm.
Swerve does not give up, ends the match.
Right,
And the commentators made sure they noted that
right.
he did not tap. He
No,
didn't give up. Prince Nana gets put in the Hurt Lock.
Mhm.
Prince Nana does not tap.
Right, but
He just limps out too. And I'm like,
he's not a part of the match.
listen, but if this hold, if you want to show that this person is so strong
Mhm.
that they didn't just tap out, they didn't refuse to give, they just passed out.
Right.
Why is Prince Nana not even trying to tap out? Why is he just like, I'm gonna do the same thing too. We just go limp right here. And I was just like, sir, tap out. Trying to do something to say, hey,
Bobby
because
too strong. Bobby too
y'all
strong.
are
What
not
you
on
talking
the
about?
same level.
What you
Swerve
talking about?
and Chris
Bobby too
Nana is
strong.
not the
No,
same
no,
level.
no, 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 no. Because at least Strickland put up a small fight. Prince Nana put up no fight. So there's a differentiation in what happened there.
It
So
irked me. I was like,
no, 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 no.
Chris Nana, you should have tapped. Because my thing about it is, listen, if this was a real life scenario, and me and J News both get in the hurt line, and J News taps out, and I don't tap out, J News gonna look at me and be like, we both was in the same mood. Why? What makes you so good that you can just limp out? And I just tapped out, and I'm like, well, you ain't strong as me. Okay, that's what I would say. But if we both just go limp, I'm gonna go. Well, we on equal playing field, right? At this point,
It's the small detail in what happened there is that Swerve put up a slight fight. Nana didn't put up a fight at all. He just went limp. It was over. So
and
there's
the
there's
third thing,
differentiation.
well, the fourth thing. First of all, Darby Allen, I love you. I love you. I love you. Because I'm if anybody knows me as a kid, I was on living on the dangerous side of this earth. Okay. If it was like jumping off something high, I've knocked off myself unconscious, I've almost choked to death. I used to just do crazy stuff. But I think there should have been a little bit of planning with that, Kane. You full force ran into another car,
That was the plan, though.
jumped out, was already injured because you were
Right.
limping by the time you got there, slipped on the hood, and then jumped up and just started to just like, and it just seemed like, you know how that Benny Hill, anybody who's known me knows I love Benny Hill. How like one person starts chasing another person who's chasing another person who's chasing another person. That's how it looked like. And all I could hear was a hoo, hoo, hoo. That's all I could hear. Is when I saw them just, it seemed like these people, one screwed one person, that okay, that linked together. Then another person screwed another person, that linked together.
Mhm.
Then that person just seemed to be off in the distance and didn't care. As these people are running away from who? Because the person that was trying to come after you is now unconscious in the ring. Then they get out there and then and then they still details, still a running car already. They steal a car keys to get in a car to crank it up when it's already running and the lights are on. Make
It's wrestling. It's not a movie. It's wrestling.
J News GCW has more storytelling than I can believe that this. Listen, I heard Alley Catch tell when she was fighting Mans Warner, you were my friend. You stayed on my couch. And if I knew you didn't like me like this, then I would have never let you in the door to meet my family. She said that from the heart, J News, outside of her family's house, okay?
Mhm.
I felt that.
Okay.
Even though they probably ain't never spent a time a day together. I felt that. You know what I'm saying? It's the details. And now that she's turned against Effie, that's another layer of the story. Like if you going after Mans Warner and you neglected our friendship and our tag team, and so now I got to hurt you. I believe that.
Mm,
If GCW can have detailed storytelling,
mm.
why can't AEW or WWE have that? And I got questions. Why? Why? Why are we doing this? You know, when the Y6 was attacking, was it Chad Gable and them? I understood that that was the link of he begot family. He set family to the side. Now you going after Scarlett and them, and I'm like, for what? I need CJ. It's little holes that need to be sewn up because if you don't sew these little holes up, you look around and your pants are hanging off, and half your leg is showing because it don't rip down the side.
Mm, mm. Okay.
And sometimes my nephew asks, listen, sometimes I feel slow because sometimes I go along with the it's wrestling. And
Mm,
my nephew will ask me, my 7-year-old nephew Nasir will ask me, well, why are they doing this? Why is he hurting this person? He came out of the blue. They didn't have any connection. It ain't like they've been doing. And to me, it's like at that point, I'm like, common sense got to be common sometimes. It's missing sometimes, J News. And people and in wrestling.
okay. Fair enough, I guess. I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's like I can understand the Darby Allen connection,
Mhm.
but it was the fact that we had to get through all the shenanigans to get to the part where Darby acts a fool. Like, couldn't he? Couldn't they have just left the ring after the match, ran out to go get in their car, and Darby smacked them? Then that would have been the same. Why do we
Well,
have to go through the shenanigans to
when
link
you
people together?
when you say shenanigans, what are you referring to?
We had Hangman Page.
Right.
We had what's his name? Christian.
Okay.
Who was the third person? I forgot who attacked Christian.
Jay
Jay
White.
White.
Uh-huh.
But again, couldn't we have shortened the shenanigans?
Uh-huh.
And like, cause the man was standing there for a long time, showing off the brief, his little contract, and not signing it.
Mhm.
Couldn't we have cut that shenanigan short? As he was going to cash it, he gets screwed immediately by Jay White.
I mean, at the end of it all, you mentioned details, right?
Hey,
And
said with some soil and
um,
more.
you mentioned details and stuff like that. And the detail that AEW wanted the fans to pay attention to was that Christian needed to sign the contract, right?
They said that like 99 times. I got that part as soon as it
Right,
came out. But
right.
my thing about it is, how did we not know he already had the contract signed? It was just in there.
Because it has to be in front of a referee, right? Like I said, wrestling, right? At the end of the day. So if it's in front of an AEW official, be it a referee, be it freaking Christopher Daniels or whatever the case is, that's when Christian's got to sign the deal. He can't just sign it beforehand and just hand it to somebody because it's not a money in the bank briefcase equivalent, right?
But it's
So
a ghetto money to briefcase. It's like money in the dollar store.
what they want to do, so they want to have an added story beat to it that makes it a little different, right? So the signing of the contract is what makes it a little different, all encompassing, right? Every single figure that was
You know, would
in
have
the
been great if he signed it already in the back with the referee.
yeah, but
Just let,
they didn't do that in this case.
but I'm saying that would have been the best thing. And then he comes out and and then next week he'd be like, "That was my opportunity. You screwed it. I lost my chance," or something like that. It just seemed like we had a lot of going ons
Mhm.
that ended in this thing where I was just like, well, why do we do all of this? We had a good match.
Right.
It ended crazy already.
Mhm.
But then we added crazy on top of crazy on top of crazy.
Because they want to give the fans the the perception that now we're gonna have more than one person.
You know what it reminded me of? WCW right before like the Nitro about to go off? How
No,
they
but
be
that's what
doing the best.
they've always done that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. AEW for my personal opinion, AEW's always done that WCW shit at the end of a show. I've never been a fan of it per se,
Yeah.
but understanding the reasoning that understanding the fact that they're just gonna that's what they're gonna continue to do. All right, let me see if I can find the reasoning and the common sense behind what happened last night. To me, last night's ending wasn't confusing at all. At the end of the day,
Like I understood it. I just didn't understand why we had to do so much. Like to me, if you keep it simple, a
hmm
lot of people who are not wrestling fans,
sure,
my non-wrestling brain goes, "Who is that? Why are they doing this? I don't know why. I don't." That doesn't. You
but
don't explain the middle part of it, and then when people go to find out, you are on to the next part of the story. So either somebody has to go back or whatever. It's not like if you hear a fan next to you in the crowd go, "Oh my God, Hangman is helping Christian," and I don't know wrestling, I would go, well, what's different? Are they friends? Are they not friends? What's going on? It's like there was no indication leading up to that things were the way that they were at the end. It's like you stacked a whole bunch of stories together, shook them up, and throw them out on me at one time.
I don't agree.
Most new wrestlers stick to one real storyline,
hmm
the major storyline, which would have
hmm
been Darby and Moxley.
Hmm.
That would have been the thing that they could have stuck to. But you
No,
threw other storylines in the midst of this one storyline.
I think that's why I say I disagree, because the storyline isn't Darby versus Mox. The storyline is who wants the AEW championship. That's the storyline.
Well,
It's not
no,
about
the real
Moxley.
storyline, if you think about it, is AEW versus Mox. Mox is trying to take over AEW, kind of like NWO style.
Yeah.
Again, WCW reference, where who is going to be the person that could take down Moxley? They
Yes
put
and
their
no.
eggs in the basket on OC,
Mhm.
and OC wasn't able to get it done, even though
Right,
OC had the backing and everything.
right.
It
But
would have the next person up to represent the flag from when we saw Brian leave would be Darby,
right,
because Darby was the one of the two youngins that was shown in that last shot of Brian getting tended to.
right.
Now the only thing I can think after that is if Darby does not win is if we do that once a year thing where Brian comes in and now feels like he has to defend AEW.
right, because it's not for. I think a lot of what people ask for nowadays is this sense of immediate gratification, and that shit kills me a lot more talking to other fans than anything else. Like
I think
let the story be what it's going to be, because we can't project everything.
I
The,
think you either
the
have two choices. You can
No,
sometimes it
you
can
have
be
how
fast.
many other choices you want.
It can
That's
be super
there's no
fast.
two choices. You have as many choices as you want.
I think that's what I'm saying. AEW sometimes goes fast. They go fast.
Right.
They hit the
But
fast meter.
with this, they're
And
taking their
sometimes
time.
WWE goes too slow,
Right.
aka the due day.
Right.
I'm like, come on now. We come on now. We done been through this 69, 350 times. Are we gonna do this? Or we not gonna do this? Don't do this to me. We've been doing this for a decade. Now, at a certain point, I think certain storylines, aka Hangman when he was going for the championship,
Hmm.
I thought that was a great paced storyline
Sure.
because we went forward, we went back a little bit, we went further, we went back a little bit. That was good.
Hmm.
I think this part for me was a little bit turned up. And I, as a wrestling fan, can understand it. But me trying to explain it to the common person, which they're trying to get more of, that's not going to work for them.
I understand that point. I get that
Yeah.
point. But that's why a wrestling show is a variety show. You're not
Yeah.
gonna get everything on the show. You're not. You're just not. At the end of the day, it's
But
not.
I
Not
think you could
every
turn
point
you
of the.
could turn the max up on lesser your main event, your money ticket, the
Mhm.
last thing that people what you surrounded your whole pay-per-view around
Mhm.
should be the not as fast as everything else. Like you could have done swerving them and thought the shenanigans and everything. Mercedes Bonnet, you could have did that because that's not your money making ticket. There were people who were in the chat who
Mhm.
I see and I know are wrestling fans that were like, "What just happened? Why is this happening? What is going on? I don't understand." I'm like, if you are confused, how is the layman main person? I'm thinking of AEW as a company who I want to see grow to be a WWE. I like their content.
Mhm.
Do I always like how they go about it? No. Do I like who they always pick to put in front of us? No. But
Mhm.
I don't like that with WWE. I just want them to do better. I enjoyed the pacing and the things they did in the beginning.
Mhm.
Then we got to this turned up level. Then we slowed down. And now it seems like I don't know, whatever Tony got going on, sometimes he just do a little bit too much.
Yeah, but
Sometimes
I,
sometimes you ain't gotta go out to the movies with your hair sticking up 5 feet and your makeup looking like a clown. You ain't gotta do all
I agree. I just feel like the it doesn't go both ways at this point. Like this Moxley storyline is fairly new. It hasn't been going on for a long period of time.
that. Yeah.
So as the kids say, let them cook before we cook this storyline up. at the end of the day. We don't have just one viable character going after the AEW championship. Now we have four. There's a level of intrigue and interest in four instead of one at this point. If we
But
ultimately get to
but
Darby
then we
Allin,
do. But then we kind of like not in this version. But
no,
then we do this with the pillars, and that went a certain type of way.
it did go a certain type of way because people kept continuously got injured and they didn't know how to put this shit into place. And the wrong people were in control of the story. In this case, it's not the same people in control of the story. So yet again, to the point I was trying to make earlier, we don't know where this is going, but I'm intrigued because now it's not just Darby. It's Jay White's been wanting to be AEW champion since he stepped foot in the AEW. Now, obviously, we understand that Darby was supposed to be quote unquote the next in line.
I
And
want Jay White to win, but I need him to switchblade it. You
we'll
know,
see. We'll see. Give it the band's on TV every week. Like I said, we'll see. Give it time. What you call it? Hangman.
and
Hangman's
Tony
purple.
gone, and I'm hurt.
Huh?
Tony is gone, and I'm hurt.
She'll be back. Hangman.
Like somebody said, she was really like. I looked, and I was like, "Oh, she's gonna come back maybe at the pay per view," and they were like, "No, she is serious."
No, she's not. But at the end of the
And
day,
I was
uh,
like, "Don't leave me, Tony."
which was Hangman has been trying to get back to the AEW championship since this whole Swerve storyline began. And obviously Hangman is tied up with Christian because Hangman did Christian the favor and then Christian got Hangman to interfere in this match or post match should I say to set up Moxley so that Hangman so that way Christian can sign a contract and eventually take that championship from Mox so then that way Christian can then give Hangman that title shot that he promised him because that's what Hangman has always wanted. He wants to be AEW champion again, and obviously Christian is there because he's the standard bearer with a contract in hand that guarantees him a shot at this championship. The
Now,
championship
now
is
after this, I
tied.
want you to listen to this back and tell me if somebody like Ruby or Tien could probably understand the complication of that.
The championship is the tie-in. Forget the characters. Everyone's vying for one piece. It's the championship.
But everybody should. That should be a common thing.
Understandable, but that's what they're trying. That's what they're putting in everybody's face. It's about the championship, not the characters. The characters make it interesting, but it's ultimately about the AEW championship because that's the symbol of AEW. That's
I
that's
don't,
that's
the
what helps
symbol, it look
represent
like the symbol
AEW.
of AEW is Tony Khan at this point.
Oh, man,
And I
whatever.
wish he would leave.
It's not
Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to TNA Wrestling. We're gonna have a preview for them. It was TNA 1061 on the 21st. Yes, I do. You watched it, ladies and gentlemen, and we're gonna go over the results. The results are TNA Knockouts World World Title no, non disqualification match. Masha Slamovich defeated Alicia Edwards. Ash by Elegance with Heather by Elegance, the personal concierge, defeated Jody Threat and Donnie Luna. Frankie Kazarian defeated Rhino. Loretto Kidd and Leon Slater defeated the system of JDC and Moose. Savannah Evans defeated Brittany Jade. Hammerstone, Jake Something, and Trent Seven defeated Ace Austin and the Hardys of Matt and Jeff Hardy. I know my good brother does not watch any of this, so
no.
we just gonna keep it moving. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to MLW. MLW Slaughterhouse. Slaughterhouse. Ladies and gentlemen, on the 23rd, it was here on YouTube. So you can go back. All of MLW shows will now be housed on YouTube, on the MLW, which is Major League Wrestling channel here on YouTube. Here are the results. I will be giving you a little bit of information about the matches that happened. We start off with Contra trying to take over. Kojima tried to stop it. Kruger takes him out, and Matt Riddle he comes in to save the day. We then had a tables match of the Andersons, Brock Anderson and C.W. Anderson, defeating the Boomaye Fight Club of Mr. Thomas and Alex Kane. I would say boo. Uh, Okamura defeated Quan in his match. Cavanaro spoke on his time and the things that he wanted to do. And then Daje attacked Kenta to go into his match where he defeated Kevin Knight. Caesar Duran planned on to find out who kidnapped him. AKA, if you ever seen Workers Wrestling Network, they're doing the watch along to Lucha Underground. Caesar Duran comes from there. Dami Exo defeated Gigi Ray. Janakai attacked Dami and did what you shouldn't do. She cut that girl hair. Matt Riddle defeated Minoru Suzuki. Tom Lawler then invited Riddle to train with him. Caesar Duran wanted Mystico's help to go against Carvadaro, but we'll have to see about that in the future MLW. Uh, Kojima defeated Bobby Fish. That was a no-brainer for me. Kenta teased that he was going to bring the Bullet Club to MLW, ladies and gentlemen. And we had a Weapons of Mass Destruction match where Kruger defeated Akira. And Kruger put Akira in a toxic hazard bin. That was the ending of the match. So, Jay News, you're going to get into some MLW. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up, my favorite show is GCW. GCW. GCW is Game Changer Wrestling. And I told you all last week, Dream On was literally coming on this week, yesterday. Very American. The pre-show was uh, on YouTube. We had Tony Deppen defeated Marcus Mathers. Garbage Daddies of Alex Price and Cole Radrick defeated Los Desperados, which was Alvarez and Gringo Loco. Sidney Akeem, Smoking and Reggie, defeated Mike Bailey. Matt Cardona defeated one called Manders. And my boy Little Guido. He had to work. Little Guido versus Ricky Morton when it's a no contest because Griffin McCoy and Kerry Morton got involved. So you know what they did? Little Guido and Ricky Martin, they defeated Griffin McCoy and Kerry Morton. For the GCW Tag Team title match, Violence is Forever. Dominic Garnari and Kevin Koo kept their championships by defeating Janellis, which is Joey Janela and his girlfriend Megan Bay. For the four-way hardcore match, Matt Tremont defeated Brandon Kirk, Drew Parker, and John Wayne Murdoch. For the JCW title match, Masha Slamovich defeated my boy, Santana Jackson. If you all don't know, Santana Jackson is a Michael Jackson lookalike. He's also participated in the Michael Jackson Experience. We interviewed him on Workhouse Wrestling Network. Very nice man. Um, for the GCW World Title match, Manswater versus Effie ended in a no contest because guess what? You guessed it. Effie's old partner got involved. Ellie Catch, that's her name. Now we on to Progress. Progress on the 17th was Chapter 173. Stay young and invincible. That's what I plan on doing. I don't know about you. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the matches that happened on that show. Progress Tag Team title match, Smoking Aces retain their championship. Smoking Aces consist of Charlie Sterling and Nick Riley. Defeated Subculture of Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews. Miles Kamen defeated Connor Mills. Moth Dog of Gene Mooney and Session Moth Martina defeated Sam Bailey and Sky Smith. Car Noir defeated Charlie Evans. Lycos Gem of Kid Lycos and Kid Lycos II defeated Carrie and Lacey and Mark True. Sorry. Emerson Jane defeated Natalie Skies. Boisterous Behavior, Leon Slater, and Man Like Doris defeated the Young Guns of Ethan Allen and Luke Jacobs. I always enjoy a progress show. Most progress shows are on YouTube, and either you can catch Thriller if they're not on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, we're into the section where J News about to come out, y'all. We're on to DDT, Mao Homecoming Show, Dramatic Dream. The village is where the school is. Listen, they be getting more and more longer names, J News, if you're ready to go for that.
Sure, sure. We had Makoto Oishi defeating Kazuma Sumi. We had Danshoku Dino and Kazuki Hirata defeating Antonio Honda and Toru Owashi. Demus and MJ Paul defeated Diego and Yuki Onaya. Damnation TA, Daisuke Sasaki, Illusion, and Cannon defeated Takeshi Masada, Tomomitsu Matsunaga, and Uni. We had Harashima and Jun Akiyama, the legend, defeating Keigo Nakamura and Yuki Ishida. Burning, which is Tetsuya Endo and Yuya Koraku, defeating Akito and To Y. Chris Brooks and Minoru Suzuki versus the 37 Kamina, which is Mao and Yuki Ueno, went to a time limit draw. We then had Get Alive 24, which happened yesterday on the 23rd of November. We had Demus and Illusion defeat Kazuma Sumi and Munitatsu Nakamura. DDT Iron Man Heavy Metal Title 6-on-1 handicap match. Antonio Honda, Diego Soma Takao, Toru Owashi, Yoshihiko, and Yuki Ishida defeated Kazuki Hirata. So I guess all five men are now the Iron Man Heavy Metal champion. Jun Akiyama, the legend, Keigo Nakamura, and Shinya Aoki defeated Harashima, Tomomitsu Matsunaga, and Yuki Onaya. Shinya Aoki defeated Yu Owada in 11 seconds. Quick match. Isami Kodaka defeated Akito. The 37 Kamina of Mao, To-Y, and Yuki Ueno defeated Burning of Tetsuya Endo, Yuki Lino, and Yuya Koroku. DDT Extreme title, You're Still a Cinderella as you climb the ladder to adulthood rules match. Sure. We had Danshoku Dino, the champion, defeated Uni. The KOD six-man tag team title match had Damnation TA, Daisuke Sasaki, Cannon, and MJ Paul, the champions, defeat Schadenfreude International, which is Chris Brooks, Masahiro Takanashi, and Takeshi Masada. We now go to TJPW, Tokyo Joshi Pro, Live Tour 2024 Autumn. We had Shino Suzuki, Yuta Takami defeating Chika Nanase, Kaira Summer, and Wakana Uehara. Palm Harajoku defeated Haruna Neko and Mahiro Kiyuri. Yuki Ayano and Zara Zakir defeated Kaya Toribami and Mizuki. Mayu Watanabe, Moka Miyamoto, and Raku, along with Suzumi, defeat whatever that number is, I don't know, 121 million, of Maki Ito and Mayu Yamashita, along with Yoshika Hasagawa and Yuki Kamafuko. Arisu Endo and Rika Tatsumi defeated Kaioraku Kiyome, Hyper Masao, it was the tag team of Hyper Masao and Shoko Nakajima. Next Generation Tournament 24 final match. It was Haru Kazushiro defeating Toga. And for the International Princess title match, we had Yuki Arai, champion, defeating Shaza McKenzie. Shouts to Shaza. Stardom, World of Wonder, in-ring, more women's wrestling. Stardom Goddess of Stardom Tag League 2024. Continues on. Three-way match. We had Aya Sakura defeating Lady C and Matoi Hamabe. Stars members Mayu Iwatani and Momokogo defeated Asuza Inaba and Konami. Hate members Natsuko Tora, Ruaka, and Saya Kamatani defeated the Cosmic Angel members of Sayaka Kurara, Tam Nakano, and Yuna Mizumori. In the tag league in the Block A match, we had Stars of Hanan and Sayalita defeat Kohaku and Meisera. We had then had another A block match which had Hate members Momo Watanabe and Thekla defeat Empress Nexus Venus of Rian and Waka Tsukiyama. We then had Empress Nexus Venus members Hanako and Maika defeat God's Eye members Rana Yagami and Tomoka Inaba. We then had more Block A action. Cosmic Angels, Natsupoi, and Sayori Anu defeated Neo Genesis members Starlight Kid and Suzu Suzuki. That particular match was a time limit draw. And then we had a Block B match, which had Hazuki and Kaguma of Stars defeat Neo Genesis members Azumi and Mayu Amasaki. So from what I can see here, we had Empress Nexus Venus with 10 points, along with, I believe, one of the tags of Hate. We then had a three-way match. It was Ruaka defeating Lady C and Sayaka Kurara on the 21st. Kohaku and Meisera defeat Empress Nexus Venus of Rian and Waka Tsukiyama. Neo Genesis team Azumi and Mayu Amasaki defeated Suza Inaba and Natsuko Tora. Cosmic Angels team of Ayasakura, Natsupoi, Sayori Ano, Tam Nakano, and Yuna Mizumori defeated Matoi Hamabe and Stars members Hanan, Mayu Iwatani, Momokogo, and Sayalita. We then had Hate members Konami and Saya Kamatani defeating God's Eye, Rani Yagami, and Tomoka Inaba. Hate members Momo Watanabe and Thekla went ahead and had a double count out versus Neo Genesis members Starlight Kid and Suzuki. And then Goddess of Stardom Tag League Block B match to end the night had Hazuki and Kaguma Stars defeat Empress Nexus Venus of Hanako and Maika. So we have the Stars team of Hazuki and Kaguma leading the way in Block B. On the 23rd, we had Empress Nexus Venus, Hanako, and Waka Tsukiyama defeating Empress Nexus Venus members Maika and Rian. Neo Genesis members Mei Sarah, Starlight Kid, and Suzuki defeated Matoi Hanabe, along with Stars members Hanan and Momo Kogo. We then had Block A action for the tags. We had Aya Sakura and Yuna Mizumori of Cosmic Angels defeat God's Eye of Haina and Lady C. We then had Hazuki, Kaguma, Mayu Iwatani, and Sayalita of Stars defeat Hate members Konami, Natsuko Tora, Ruaka, and Sayaka Matani. We then had another Block B match. We had Neo Genesis members Azumi and Mayu Amasaki defeat God's Eye members Rana Yagami and Tomaka Inaba. We then had Block A action again. Asuza Inaba and Rina defeat Hate members Momo Watanabe and Thekla. And then we had Block B action again. Cosmic Angel members Sayaka Kurara and Tam Nakano defeated God's Eye members Saki Kashima, and Sayuri. On the 24th, we have more Block 8 action. We have Hanan and Sayalita go up against Empress Nexus Venus members, Rihanna and Wakasukiyama. We then had Azumi in a special three-way match here, go up against Matoi Hanabe and Atsupoi. We then have Block A action, God's Eye. Haina and Lady C defeated Asuza Inaba and Rina. God's Eye, Saki Kashima and Sayuri defeated Hate, Momo Watanabe and Thekla, and Neo Genesis members Mei Sira and Mayu Amasaki, as Stars members Hazuki and Kaguma. We then had Block A action. Neo Genesis, Starlight Kid, and Suzuki defeated Cosmic Angel members Aya Sakura and Yuna Mizumori. Block B action. We had God's Eye, Rani Yagami, and Tamaka Inaba defeat Mayu Iwatani and Momo Kogo. Block B action again. Cosmic Angel members Sayaka Kurara and Tam Nakano defeat Hate members Natsuko Tora and Raka. And then we had Block B action to finish off the night, which was Empress Nexus Venus members Hanako and Maika defeating Konami and Saya Kamatani of Hate. So Empress Nexus Venus still at the lead. We then have Pro Wrestling Noah. Akitoshi Saito Retirement Show. That's right. Destiny. Alpha Wolf, El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., and Galeno del Mal defeated Daiki, Odashima, Junta, Miyawaki, and Yu Owada. Anthony Green, Iyata, Harutoki, and LJ Cleary defeated Amakusa, Hitoshi Kumano, Muhammad Yone, and Shuhei Taniguchi. Atsushi Katoge, Go Shiozaki, Hajime Ohara defeated all rebellion members Alejandro, Kai Fujimura, and Keno. Ulka Sasaki defeats Jack Morris. Masaki Tamiya and Shuji Kondo defeated Kazuyuki Fujita and Manabu Soya. The GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title match had Rattels, Hayata, and Yohei, the champions, defeat Rattels, Tadasuke, and Yuto Kikuchi. GHC Junior Heavyweight title match had the champion Daga defeating Dragon Bane. The legend Naomichi Marufuji defeated Akitoshi Saito in his retirement match. And then the GHC heavyweight title match had the champion Kaito Kiyomiya defeating Takashi Sugiura. Noah had Mad Magic Autumn Volume 1. On the 18th, we had Iyata defeating LJ Cleary. Anthony Green and Kevin Blackwood defeated Uka Sasaki and Yu Owada. Kaito Kiyomiya defeated Black Mensore. Bozilla, Koki Amare, and Natsumi Shozuki defeated Hyan, Mayuki Takase, and Sadie Gibbs. This was a women's match. El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., along with Galeno del Mal, defeated Rattels, Hayata, and Yohei, and all Rebellion members Alejandro and Kai Fujimura, along with Alpha Wolf and Dragon Bane. GHC Hardcore Openweight title match had Shuji Ishikawa, the champion, defeat the Grand Legend of Masato Tanaka. We then had some New Japan Pro Wrestling on the come up here. We are in World Tag League 2024. As we go along, we have A block here, Bishan, which is Rocky Goto and Yoshihashi, Bullet Club members Chase Owen and Kenta, Shota Umino and Tomoaki Hanma, United Empire members Jeff Cobb and Callum Newman are together. Alex Zane has his tag team partner, which is Ryusuke Taguchi, Los Ingobernables de Japón, Shingo Takagi and Yoda Suji, TMDK members Zack Sabre Jr., Ray and War Dog members Gabe Kidd and Sonata over on the A block. B block has United Empire members Laredo Khan and Hanare, just four guys of Takamission and Taichi. A member Shane Hastings and Mickey Nichols. Los Ingobernables de Japón second team, which is Tetsuya Naito and Hiromu Takahashi. We then have Hiroshi Tanahashi and Jado. Natural Classics of Tomei and Stevie Phillip, Toriano and Bolton Oleg, and to end up the B block, we have House of Torture members Ren Narita and Evil.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the slide from last week, which showed that we didn't know who Alex Zane's partner was at the time, but we now have a new slide which shows that Taguchi is his partner. So just letting you know, we found out that Taguchi is his partner, and so we have filled it in, so we'll know from now on Alex Zane and Taguchi are tag partners. Thank you.
As we move on, we had on the 19th, which was the first show, I believe, of the tournament. We had Shomakato defeat Matsuda Yasuda. That was a Young Lions match. Bullet Club members Stevie Flip, Taiji Shimori, and Tomei Phillip defeat Hiroshi Tanahashi, Jado, and Katsuya Murashima. House of Torture members Dick Togo, Evil, and Renarita defeated Oleg Bolton, Tiger Mask, and Toriano. Just four guys, Doki, Taichi, Takamichinoku defeated the United Empire members Great O'Connor, Hanare, and Jacob Boston Young. TMDK's Kosei Fujita, Mikey Nichols, and Shane Haste defeated Los Ingobernables de Japón, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Tetsuya Naito. Then we go on to World Tag League action. We had an A-block match. We had the United Empire members Cal Newman and Jeff Cobb defeat Shota Umino and Tomoaki Hanma. We then continued with A-block action. Los Ingobernables de Japón, Shingo Takagi, and Yoda Suji defeat Funky Sauce, which is Alex Zane and Ryusuke Taguchi. We then had further A-block action. Bishiman, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi defeating Bullet Club members Chase Owens and Kenta. And then final match of the night had TMDK's Ryohei Oiwa and Zack Sabre Jr. defeating Bullet Club War Dog members Gabe Kidd and Sanada. Yeah, on the 21st, we had Daiki Nagai uh, versus I can't see this here for whatever reason. But it was a time limit draw between two of the young lions. United Empire's Callum Newman, Jacob Austin Young, and Jeff Cobb defeat Funky Sauce of Alexander and Reyes Kitsuguchi along with Katsuya Murashima. Bullet Club members Chase Owens, Kenta, and Taiji Ishimori defeated Bullet Club War Dog members Gabe Kid Gato and Sonata. There is an faction beef going on here. The War Dogs do not respect the former Bullet Club members, so that's breaking down before our eyes. So keep an eye on that. Also, go when I was to happen Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Yoda Tsuji defeat Bishima members Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi, and along with the young lion Shomakato. TMDK's Koji Fujita, Ryohei Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. Defeat Shota Umino, Tiger Mask, and Tomoaki Hanma. We go on to Block B action. We had the Natural Classics, Stevie Phillip and Tommy Phillip defeat Hiroshi Tanahashi and Jado. We had just four guys, Taichi and Takamichinoku, defeat United Empire's Great Khan and Hanare. The House of Torture members, Evil and Ren Narita, along with Dick Togo on the outside, defeated Oleg Bolton and Toriano. And then we had the final match of the night, which was Los Ingobernables Japon's members, Hiromu Takahashi and Tetsuya Naito, defeat TMDK members, Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste. On the 22nd, we had Shomakato defeat Daiki Nagai. Multi-man matches to begin the night. We had TMDK's Koji Fujita, Mikey Nichols, and Shane Haste defeat Bullet Club members Stevie Phillip, Taiji Ishimori, and Tommy Phillip. Just four guys, Doki, Taichi, and Takamichinoku defeated House of Torture members Dick Togo, Evil, and Ren Narita. Oleg Bolton and Toru Yano defeated Los Ingobernables Japon's Bushi and Tetsuya Naito. United Empire members Great Khan, Hanare, and Jacob Austin Young defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi, Jado, and Katsuya Murashima. And then we had A Block action. United Empire's Callum Newman and Jeff Cobb with their second win in a row, defeating Funky Sauce of Alexander and Ryosuke Taguchi. We then had Bullet Club War Dogs, Gabe Kidd and Sanada get their first win against Chase Owens and Kenta. We then had Shota Umino and Tomoaki Hanma get their first win against TMDK members Ryohei Oiwa and Zack Sabre Jr. And then we had the long-standing tag team of Bishiman of Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi defeat Los Ingobernables Japón of Shingo Takagi and Yoda Tsuji. On the 23rd, we had Daiki Nagai defeat Yasuda in a time limit, or that was a time limit draw against the Young Lions again. Their multi-man match, we had Shota Umino, Tiger Mask, and Tomoaki Hanma defeat Bishiman members Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi along with Shomakato. TMDK's Koji Fujita, Ryohei Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. defeat Funky Sauce, Alexander, and Ryosuke Taguchi along with Katsuya Murashima. Bullet Club members Chase Owens, Kenta, and Taiji Ishimori defeat United Empire members Callum Newman, Jacob Austin Young, and Jeff Cobb. Los Ingobernables Japón, Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Yoda Tsuji defeat Bullet Club War Dog members Gabe Kid Gato and Sonata. We then go on to Block B action on the 23rd. TMDK's Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste get their first win of the tournament against the Natural Classics of Stevie Flip and Tommy Flip. We then have House of Torture members Evil and Ren Narita get their second win of the tournament against just four guys, Taichi and Takamichinoku. United Empire members of Great Khan and Hanare get their first win of the tournament by defeating Hiroshi Tanahashi and Jado. And then we have Oleg Bolton and Toruyano also getting their first win in the tournament, defeating Los Ingobernables Japón, Hiromu Takahashi, and Tetsuya Naito. We then had a show earlier today. We had Shomakato defeat Daiki Nagai in a Young Lions face-off there. Bullet Club members Stevie Flip, Taiji Ishimori, and Tommy Flip defeated Oleg Bolton, Tiger Mask, and Toruyano. House of Torture members Dick Togo, Evil, and Ren Narita defeated the United Empire, Great Khan, Hanare, and Jacob Austin Young. Just four guys, Doki, Taichi, and Takamichinoku defeated Los Ingobernables Japón, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Tetsuya Naito. TMDK members Koji Fujita, Mikey Nichols, and Shane Haste defeat Hiroshi Tanahashi, Jado, and Katsuya Murashima. Block A action continued this morning. United Empire's Callum Newman and Jeff Cobb got their third win in a row, defeating Bullet Club members Chase Owens and Kenta. TMDK's Ryohei Oiwa and Zack Sabre Jr. get their second win of the tournament, defeating Funky Sauce, Alexander, and Ryosuke Taguchi. We then have Shota Umino and Tomoaki Hanma getting their second win of the tournament, defeating Bishimon's Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi. So they're even there at 4 points apiece. And then we had Los Ingobernables Japón, Shingo Takagi, and Yoda Tsuji getting their second win of the tournament, defeating Bullet Club War Dog members Gabe Kidd and Sonata. On to the preview.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your previews. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, got a busy week coming up. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off with the WWE. And guess what we're going to watch this weekend? Survivor Series, ladies and gentlemen. War Game. It is on the 30th. Might do a watch along, might not. It just depends. First, for the WWE World Heavyweight title, we'll have Gunther, the champion, versus Damian Priest. War Games 10-man tag team match for the women will be Candice LeRae, Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, Raquel Rodriguez, and Tiffany Stratton versus Bianca Belair, Io Sky. Jay Cargill has been taken out, so we don't know yet. Naomi and Rhea Ripley. On the men's War Game match, we now know CM Punk has joined the OG bloodline of Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Roman Reigns, and Sami Zayn versus the bloodline of Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa, along with Bronson Reed. Also, ladies and gentlemen, this weekend on a Good Friday, we're going to have a TNA show. It will be TNA Turning Point, ladies and gentlemen, live on the 29th. And right now, for the countdown show, we don't have any matches listed. For Turning Point itself, we have Frankie Kazarian versus Mike Santana. For the TNA X Division title, we have Moose the Champion versus Laredo Kid. We have Kushida and the Rascals of Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz versus Ace Austin and the Hardys of Jeff and Matt Hardy. No disqualification match. Josh Alexander and Steve Macklin go at it. For the TNA Knockouts World Title 2 out of 3 falls match, we have Masha Slamovich, the champion, versus Jordan Grace. We have a Thanksgiving Turkey Bowl match, which PCO versus Eric Young versus Brian Myers versus John Schuyler versus Hammerstone versus Joe Hendry. If you don't know, say his name and he will appear, because I believe in Joe Hendry. And last but not least, Nick Nemeth will defend his TNA World title against Eddie Edwards. Ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to go to Defy and Progress coming together to make Onslaught. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the name of the show coming up. And I want to let you know Onslaught does not have anything listed, but it is on the 29th. So make sure you watch it. It will be on Triller TV app. Okay? Now we're on to GCW, ladies and gentlemen. GCW, GCW. You see how excited I get when GCW come in the room? It is happening as we speak. And I can't wait to get off of here so I can watch it. It is GCW's Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. If you have not seen Bloodsport, make sure you get the Triller app. Watch Bloodsport. As we speak, we are having matches from Matt Makowski and David Kelvin Tankman and versus Lou Nixon. Royce Isaac versus Miles Bourne. Marina Shafir versus Jody Threat. This is J Newsword. The Saki is the
It's Sumi Sakai versus Carmen Petrovic.
see. That's J Newsword. Josh Alexander versus Mike Bailey. Charlie Dempsey versus Akira. Dominic Gennari versus Kevin Koo. So they're tag team partners that are facing off against each other. We have Lee versus Masha Slamovich. And last but not least, the match I can't wait to see. MVP versus Josh Barnett. Because I know, I'm hoping he gets stomped out. Ladies and gentlemen, on the 29th, we have You Wouldn't Understand. Listen, if you ain't been on my channel, I'll say it again. Hey, kicking it with the Rooks. Uh, I will say it again. You don't understand. And that is from GCW. We will be having matches. Oh, Jesus. I just don't understand why some of these matches are happening. It will be Alley Catch versus Microman. If you haven't seen Microman, he about 2 feet 2. Frightmare, Hollow Wicked, and Ultraman Mantis, Mantis Black versus Los Desperados, which is Ares, um, Gringo Loco. Brooke Havoc versus Zeta Steel. And last but not least, the match I can't wait to see for the GCW World Title: Mance Warner versus Homicide. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all don't know, I love hardcore wrestling, so it makes me happy when I see GCW. But back to my good brother J News and New Japan Pro Wrestling, starting on the 6th of the World Tag League date number 11/26, which we already have went over the World Tag League, and these are the people involved. Let me remove this from the top. As you see, Alex Zane now has a partner, Taguchi. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can help my good brother because it's going to be a lot of days.
On the 26th, they have Daiki Nagai versus Masatori Yasuda. Shota Umino Tiger match and Tomoaki Hama versus Ryusuke Taguchi, Alex Zane, and Katsuya Murashima. Bishimans, Rokigoto, and Yoshihashi, and Shomakato go up against TMDK members Kosei Fujita, Ryohei Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. United Empire's Callum Newman and Jacob Austin Young and Jeff Cobb go up against Bullet Club War Dog members Gabe Kidd, Gato, and Sonata. We then have Bullet Club members Chase Owens, Kenta, and Taiji Ishimori go up against Los Ingoben Numbers Habon, Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Yoda Tsuji. We then have Block B action in the Tag League. Oleg Bolton and Toriano go up against the Natural Classics of Stevie Phillip and Tommy Phillip. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Jado to go up against TMDK members Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste. Los Ingoben Numbers Habon's Hiromu Takahashi and Tetsuya Naito go up against Just 4 Guy members Taichi and Taka Michinoku. We have United Empire members Great Okan and Hanare go up against House of Torture members Evil and Ren Narita. And we then have dates on the 27th. Our matches, should I say, we got Shomakato and Masatora Yasuda going one-on-one again. Oleg Bolton, Tiger Mask, and Toriano versus United Empire members Great Okan, go back one. Great Okan, Hanare, and Jacob Austin Young. House of Tortures, Dick Togo, Evil, and Ren Narita versus TMDK members Kosei Fujita, Mikey Nichols, and Shane Haste. Bullet Club members Stevie Phillip, Taiji Ishimori, and Tommy Phillip go up against the Los Ingoben Numbers Habones, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Tetsuya Naito. We then have Hiroshi Tanahashi, Jado, and Katsuya Murashima go up against Just 4 Guy members Doki, Taichi, and Taka Michinoku. Block A action, we have Shota Umino and Tomoaki Hanma go up against Ryusuke Taguchi and Alex Zane. United Empire members Callum Newman and Jeff Cobb go up against Bullet Club War Dog members Gabe Kidd and Sonata. Bullet Club members Chase Owens and Kenta go up against Los Ingoben Numbers Habon, Shingo Takagi, and Yoda Tsuji. We then have Bishiman members Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi go up against TMDK members Ryohei Oiwa and Zack Sabre Jr. On to the 28th. We have Daiki Nagai versus Masatori Yasuda. Young line face off there. Multi-man match, Bishamon, Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi, Lama Shomakato go up against Ryusuke Taguchi, Alexei, and Katsuya Murashima. Los Ingobernables happen. Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Jonas Tsuji go up against United Empire members Callum Newman, Jacob, Austin Young, and Jeff Cobb. Bullet Club members Chase Owens and Kenta go up against TMDK's Kosei Fujita and Zack Sabre Jr. in a special tag match. Shota Umino, Tiger Mask, and Tomoaki Hama go up against Bullet Club War Dog members Gabe Kid, Gato, and Sonata. And then we have Block B action, the Natural Classics, Stevie Flip and Tommy Phillip go up against Los Ingobernables Japons, Hiromu Takahashi, and Tetsuya Naito. Oleg Bolton and Toru Yano go up against United Empire members of Great O'Connor and Nare. We then have House of Torture members Evil and Ren Narita go up against TMDK's Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste. And then we have Hiroshi Tanahashi and Jado go up against just four guys, Tai Chi and Taka Michinoku in Block B action. We then have the dates on the match on the 29th. Shomakato and Daiki Nagai, Young Lions face off. We then have Bullet Club members Gato, Stevie Flip, and Tommy Phillip versus House of Torture members Dick Togo, Evil, and Ren Narita. We then have Oleg Bolton, Tiger Mask, and Toru Yano versus just four guys, Doki, Taichi, and Taka Michinoku. United Empire members of Great Okan, Hanare, and Jacob Austin Young go up against TMDK members Kosei Fujita, Mikey Nichols, and Shane Haste. We then have Hiroshi Tanahashi, Jado, and Katsuya Murashima go up against Los Ingobernables Japons, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Tetsuya Naito. We then have Block A action on Tag League. We have Bishamon, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi versus Ryusuke Taguchi and Alex Zane. Shota Umino and Tomoaki Hanma go up against Bullet Club War Dog members Gabe Kidd and Sonata. Bullet Club members Chase Owens and Kenta go up against TMDK members Ryohei Oiwa and Zack Sabre Jr. We then have Los Ingobernables Japón, Shingo Takagi and Yota Tsuji go up against United Empire members Callum Newman and Jeff Cobb. On to the 1st of December. Daiki Nagai versus Masatori Yasuda on another Young Lion face-off. Bullet Club War Dog members Gabe Kidd, Gato, and Sonata go up against Ryusuke Taguchi, Alexander, and Katsuya Murashima. We then have Bishamon members Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi along with Katsuya Murashima versus United Empire members Callum Newman, Jacob Austin Young, and Jeff Cobb. We then have Shota Umino and Tiger Mask versus Bullet Club members Chase Owens and Kenta. Los Ingobernables Japón, Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Yota Tsuji go up against TMDK members Kosei Fujita, Ryohei Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. Block B action continues. Oleg Bolton and Toru Yano go up against just four guys, Tai Chi and Taka Michinoku. The Natural Classics, Stevie Phillip and Tommy Phillip go up against the House of Tortures, Evil, and Ren Narita. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Jado go up against Los Ingobernables Japón, Hiromu Takahashi and Tetsuya Naito. The United Empire's Great O'Connor and Hanare go up against TMDK's Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste. And that is the end of the Tag League stuff for next week. You're on mute, Dolores.
Jay Lewis had to fight for his life, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all saw me fighting and swinging in the air. Hey to the Rooks. Hey, kicking it with the Rooks. Hey, everybody. There is a issue. Restream is already notified about it. That the YouTube chats have not been really connecting. So I am looking at my phone to see you all, and I really can't type quick enough. So if we're not, sorry that we don't have your comments on the screen, but if you want to ask us something, go ahead. I still will answer. Um, Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, from Sunday to Sunday, so from this Sunday to next Sunday, when we do the previews, that's what we go on. Anything that happens between this Sunday, from this Sunday today, If it happens in the morning time, which most New Japan shows, most Stardom shows happen in the morning, we will go over it in the evening time. If it's in the afternoon or the evening time, then we will most likely review it the next Sunday. So like shows that are happening right now, I can't watch it, so I have to review it with you next Sunday. Okay, just for the new people in the room. We also go over pro wrestling and indies. So any and everything, and then every once in a while, I might start spotlighting a new company. Everything that we go about is something that you can find either on WrestleVerse, Wrestle Universe, which is an app, Trilla TV, which is an app, or your cable stations for a lot of the mainstream shows like Access TV, USA, TNT, TBS. Okay, J News. I'm gonna go first since you got a lot of stuff you gonna do. Ladies and gentlemen, while I let my good brother rest, I am going to come out and tell you about myself. And this is my little QR code. Let me put it aside. Yes, I'm Delores. I'm a pink girl in my pink world here. Not only on YouTube, but it seems like everywhere. I got every type of social media. Scan this QR code to my link tree. I have a new email, so you can get to my email. Uh, Also, I'm in the process of hooking my scheduler up to my Zoom so you all can schedule meetings with me because I do graphics, I do manage channels. Your girl got time to do all the things of the things, and I've been doing it for a while. We will be getting back to some of the things on the channel, but right now, managing and doing graphics and doing things are a little bit top of the list. We're going to go back doing sports, gaming, and all the things of the things, tutorials. I do teach Canva, make websites, do all these things. Your girl is pretty spiffy. And as I say, I'm not expensive, but I am not cheap. Okay? So if you want to definitely get in contact with me, schedule a meeting, go over some things with me, I definitely will be able to help you to get to wherever you want to be, either on YouTube or in your business period, because I worked with businesses before. So that's me. Now, in the chat is my good brother J News, okay? And I want to say, because I always got something smart to say when J News comes up here, it is this week. J News is a family man. He a good man, Savannah, okay? You can't leave him out here in these streets too long, Savannah, for somebody to come pick him up, okay? So, now that my good brother J News is back, he has the floor to talk about himself, his channel, and all the things that incorporate J News.
Well, folks, it's been a few weeks since I've been back on, but as usual, Dolores is always uh, more than uh, willing to let me plug my stuff. I want to say it here because I know I say it enough about bringing back the movie podcast and everything else in between. Um, I try to be as transparent um, and as direct with everybody as I can. So I'm going to say this: I don't necessarily know what I'm doing with the podcast for now. My movie podcast, that is. I've had a real tough time with the creative portion of it in recent months, and I really haven't been able to bring myself to record episodes or even uh, write write reviews like I was doing a couple of months ago and stuff like that. So as for now, continue watching the Hit the Roast podcast. Continue to for those of you who follow me on here and have followed um, my pro wrestling podcasting journey, you can still watch me on um, True Heel Heat as well, as I'm always on True Heel Heat to discuss New Japan Pro Wrestling and things of that nature. But always be on the lookout for me and Dolores doing our podcast every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hit the ropes as we talk everything pro wrestling from the major TV companies to the indies and things of that nature. Um, I don't necessarily know what it's going to look like for me to do movie reviews. I haven't stopped going to the movies. I actually went. I saw 3 movies this past week on at the theaters and stuff like that. I just haven't necessarily felt compelled to to write reviews and or record anything, to be quite honest. And that's not because the movies are bad or if they're good or whatever. I'm mentally, I'm just not in the space for it at this point in time. So I'm just gonna, give it to you guys like that. So there's that particular perspective of it. So instead of like Dolores having a week every week say, "Oh, check out Jay News's channel," movie reviews and things of that nature. For now, just stay tuned for me being on Hit the Ropes on a weekly basis with Dolores, doing the wrestling thing, and every other couple of weeks checking me out on True Heel Heat as I review New Japan stuff, and I try to get my head wrapped around what it is that I'm going to do with the podcast and movie reviews and things of that nature. So I appreciate anybody for holding on as long as they have, or if you've tuned out, I don't blame you. It is what it is. But I appreciate anybody watching me on the channel nonetheless. Because it's not as easy as a journey as a lot of people might make it out to be on social media or on live streaming and stuff like that, or whatever the case is. I can definitely understand when not comparing myself to any large creators or anything like that, but from the standpoint of wanting to create or having the motivation to create, like for some of us it's harder than others to get the ball rolling with certain stuff, or we just have too much going on or too much stuff on our plates and we just can't get to it. So at this point, I just want to say I appreciate anybody who's ever checked out one of my podcast reviews, anybody who's read any of my reviews um, from Letterbox and stuff like that. That's that QR code you see here on the screen. It'll lead you to my Letterbox account where I have written reviews, star reviews, and things of that nature, and whatnot about the movies that I've seen in the last calendar year. I'll continue to, if I have anything to write up about, I'll let you guys know. And if not, then you'll just see what my movie diary for the year is and stuff like that. So there's that end of it. As always, I want to thank Dolores for giving me the time to at least say that to y'all from a interactive standpoint and a fan base standpoint. So continue to check us out here on the Hit the Ropes podcast, and whether or not I continue with the movie review and podcast stuff is a TBD for now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you can hear me quite well, but you see this man right here? This man got good hair, good vernacular. He's super smart and he knows how to speak another language. Ladies and gentlemen, go subscribe because when he do come, you don't want to miss out on all the fun. Listen, I'm always gonna send you over to my good brother Jay News because listen, he is the backbone here at Hit the Ropes Podcast and many podcasts. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, check out Jay News. But Jay News has a spotlight for you all
Yes.
because he's been waiting to tell you his spotlight
Yeah, it's
of the
been a
week.
couple of weeks, and I wasn't necessarily knowing who to spotlight previously, but this came to mind automatically once I saw um, Full Gear yesterday, and I wanted to spotlight a young, now established wrestler of the AEW roster, and that is Daniel Garcia. He is a New Yorker from Buffalo, New York. Young man's been on the wrestling scene within the last decade or so. I believe Danny's like about 25, 26 years old. He won his first AEW championship in the TNT championship yesterday at Full Gear in a good match versus Jack Perry. I just wanted to give Daniel Garcia some props and show him some love, man, for putting in that work and getting on the grind on the indies and then showing out and showing up at AEW and making his mark as the future of as one of the future stalwarts of professional wrestling here for AEW. I hope that his TNT title reign is a good one and is a solid one, and that they make something a bigger deal out of Daniel Garcia than he already has been. So, shouts to Daniel Garcia for putting in the work and giving us some quality in ring work. Now it's time for him to put the nose to the grindstone, as they say, and do more work and elevate himself even further. So I just wanted to spotlight Daniel Garcia this week here on the Hit the Ropes podcast. You're muted again, Dolores.
I rarely, other than the mute thing, I rarely try to not embarrass myself. Okay, but for the good brother J News and for his pick, I am flash photography. Make sure you got it right. Hold your screenshots right now because Daniel Garcia, ladies and gentlemen, does a thing where he puts his fist up and he just grinds all the time. And me and the nigga had a thing where we said one time live, imagine you in the club and you look over and this man is like this, just, hey, how you doing? Are you okay? Do you need something? As he just talking to you.
You know, it's funny. I'm gonna you saying that. Shouts to Danny because Danny's open to a lot of different things. I think there was a video online back in September, and I think I can be completely wrong. I don't know Daniel Garcia out from a hole in the wall, but I think it was Daniel Garcia's first time experiencing Juve. What is Juve? It is the West Indian Day Parade here in New York City,
Just,
Brooklyn's Eastern Parkway.
you just having a good time.
And Danny was out there with Zay, with Mark Quinn, and he was having fun. He was doing
Just
his thing.
hands behind his back. He was still getting it. I was like,
I
get
was
it. You
I
don't have
was
some melanin in your life, sir. I see that. So, okay.
I'm there like he was. It seemed to be he was little spellbound by a lot of the gyration and and action that was
They were
happening
throwing
in
that
his world.
time too back too hard. He couldn't get it. He was shaking. He couldn't catch it. Listen,
So I want to give Daddy props for that and for entertaining himself and should I say not entertaining, ingratiating himself in a cultural event that happens in New York in one of New York City's five boroughs every year. So props to Daddy for that and having fun with it, man. So yeah,
Jay News, you gotta give him credit. He be getting it. My favorite thing is when he climb on the top rope and just be like, he be getting it. And I'm like, you know what? Like Ruby said, you know what? Yeah, that's my favorite thing. You know what I'm saying? Even though he seemed to be very versed in melanated subjects and
sure.
he got some rhythm in his life,
Mhm.
uh, this is one exception. I'm gonna say, please don't call me. Okay.
Oh man.
No, because you look like even though you got some melanin, you're gonna bring them unseasoned potatoes to the party, and I can't do that.
Anyways, also
Gay kid now.
Daniel announced yesterday during the post Full Gear Media Scrum that he is a participant in the Continental Classic again this year. He's part of the C2. I wanted to announce it here to everybody else. If you're digging and you're into what AEW does as a promotion, they have their C2 tournament, their Continental Classic tournament going on this it happens towards the tail end of the year. It starts this Wednesday. They did their selection Sunday special. It's up on YouTube. It's about 13 minutes long. If you want to see the announcements as to who all the competitors are, go out on YouTube on All Elite Wrestling's YouTube channel and check out the selection Sunday special. But yeah, Daniel Garcia announced himself on the Medium Scrum last night. So I just wanted to piggyback off there and let you guys know as to what was going on. Last year's Continental Classic, the C2, was basically a reset for AEW. It put them back where they needed to be, quote unquote, and hopefully the Continental Classic continues to be a shining light for AEW as a promotion.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say, uh, the the best way to describe a wild wrestling moment. We've had many. Okay, I can give you two in specific. Old school WWE. My good brother Brian Pillman talks smack to the one and only Stone Cold Steve Austin. And Brian thought because he had a peace of mind. Listen to what I said, peace of mind. and some security guards. They was gonna stop Stone Cold. And Stone Cold came in, and Brian whipped out his piece of mind, and he was shaking real bad when he took that thing out. So I should have known he wasn't gonna do nothing. And then the camera just cut, and we had to wait for a while to find out that nothing happened, and he was still up there shaking real bad because this man came in his household and disrespected. AEW gave us a different version. Swerve broke into this man's house, covered his child, newborn child, with his merch, and to return the favor, Hangman saw the video we all saw where Swerve said, "I bought my childhood home," and it wasn't even 7 days later. It was in flames. Uh, as he sat in a rocking chair, and he threw that thing. That was a memory. Okay.
That's probably going to that particular moment. That's AEW's biggest moment so far as a company. Outside of their premiere, Hangman Page, quote unquote, burning down Swerve Strickland's childhood home.
I don't know. It inspired me when I thought about it because I posted something last night, and it's like when I tried to tell you. And you ever seen that meme or the video of the man dancing on top of the house? The black man, he was getting it as the house was on fire, and he was just dancing. He was getting it. That's what I posted last night.
I've
It
never
was
seen
flames. It was flames up under him, and he was just. I was like, "That's me." When I tried to tell you, he just listen. A lot
that.
of us, my good sister, the Educated Natural, join her channel, The Educated Natural. You see our picture in my chat. Join The Educated Natural. She'll help you get your business acumen up. She'll help you know what not to do on YouTube. Listen to her. She's a smart, smart, smart black woman. Okay? She is worth the investment. Kicking it with the Rooks. I can tell you all, since I've been on their channel, I've been getting subscribers. I've been meeting new people. I've been having fun, connecting to people, and enjoying people who are just calm and normal. Because sometimes the YouTube streets, some crazy bofos out here. I tell people all the time, you can meet somebody that you know don't like you. In the regular life in the streets, I won't speak to you. In YouTube streets, hey, how you doing? Are you fine? What's going on with you? I ain't seen you in a minute. Sir, ma'am, I know you don't like me. Get out of my face. Okay? But I gotta speak back. And I gotta be nice. Jay News, you know the Lord is working on me. Cause sometimes I won't tell them how I feel.
Mm.
As far as Ruby Spot, you all know that's my friend. Happy birthday, belated birthday, Ruby. Her birthday was on the 18th. I gave her a little shout out. Jay News ain't never put so much purple in a graphic. Made my chest hurt. Okay?
Is that Ruby's favorite color? Is purple her
Yes,
favorite?
and I cannot stand the color. Everybody
Yeah,
loves purple.
I mean, you gotta respect. You gotta respect the color purple. At the end of the day, I'm talking about the color now, folks. I'm talking about the color now.
I love the color purple, the movie. And I also want to tell the haters out there, you ain't gonna have nothing till you do right by me. How about that? How about that?
Oh man, mind you, the readaptation that came out last year was really good. I will say that. So there's that. Respect the fact that the color purple is Ruby's favorite color. It is the color of royalty.
Oh,
If
wait
you
a
wear
minute,
that to
y'all.
wear.
Y'all weren't here from the beginning of the show. Back on episode 1, where Ruby wants J News to give us a Spanish word of the day. 'Cause if you all know, J News speaks fluent Spanish. Okay? The Spanish word of the day. This is J News. You ought to be proud of myself because your girl did something. I taught my nephew Spanish numbers. Oh,
Did you?
my old the Spanish in me came out. It was like, yeah. Now he can do it. He be like, uno, dos, tres, cuatro. I listen. I was like, Jay News will be proud of me.
That's
But the
great.
other
That's good.
episodes he saw when I was up there talking about Thekla and her opponent, he disappointed. He is disappointed. He was like, Dolores,
Excellent.
I know you heard me say these words before.
You just gotta try. That's all. But
Just
no, that's
not
cool though. That's cool though.
Sifting
Um,
some soil, Jaleel, Taurus Brains. Make sure you check out all these wonderful people. They always supporting me. Make sure you check out A Resilient Dad, just like J News. I'm trying to get them to come back to YouTube, okay? Do something. Give me something. Just listen, ladies and gentlemen. I produce channels all the time. I do graphics all the time. I give people advice all the time. And the two people happen to be male, okay? I be trying to get them together, and guess what? They don't listen. And I'm gonna say the ARD and J News, bad, bad, okay? Because y'all got too much goodness to give the world to be out here. Just, I understand J News. It's gonna take us time. I understand ARD. It takes some time. But when you come, ladies and gentlemen, when you come back to the YouTube streets, it's gonna be on fire. It's gonna be paved in gold. And I can't wait for everybody to see and get to know you like I do. Listen, he's very smart, very great with words. So listen, he will help you save time and money on going to these trash movies. Because sometimes I come up behind the scenes and be like, J News, you heard about that movie? I'll be excited. J News be like, I saw it and it wasn't good.
yeah, I have a whole rating system that a friend of mine helped me create. Shout out to my homegirl, long time, long standing, known each other since sixth grade. My homegirl Jean Good for helping me create all those graphics and my logo and everything else in between. So shout out to her. But yeah, I have a whole rating system that goes according to plan. I had this grand idea, and I'm just trying to be more accountable to myself and the creation process and how to make it easier and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to figure things out.
Yeah, you got
Um,
this. It takes everybody to listen, even me. You know my history. I was on True Hill Heat as a hey, I'm a member. I'm just gonna watch along. To I got a podcast and they were like, do the graphics. You log in, you figure this out. This is how you do, and you just figure that out. And I figured it out, and then now I'm doing it on my own, and I'm helping people. CJ News, you'll get there. It takes time. It took me some time, and I appreciate everybody who support me. Shout out Auntie Ellen and them, Ruby Spot, J News, 10, which is the educated natural. Some people, when I said 10, be like, who? I was like, the educated
she a
natural.
10. People should understand that she a 10. You know what I'm saying? Damn. There's no, I mean, anyways, I
Yeah.
digress.
Listen, 10 will help you get your life together. She's very spiritual. Sometimes when she be doing her lives, I feel like the Holy Spirit will come and touch me and be like, Dolores, don't lay your hands on nobody. Okay? Don't be out here in these streets smacking folks. Okay? And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do that. And listen, J News know me. I have not acted a fool on this channel. Knock
No,
on wood.
there's no reason to. There's no reason to at
This
the
is
end
a
of the day.
calm environment.
It is a very calm environment. It's a very calm environment.
That
I do have this sense about myself to try to be the voice of reason the majority of the time. So we keep everything. So yeah, yeah.
he is the voice of reason, ladies and gentlemen, to prevent me from acting a fool. Because that's how he be like, hey, the Lord, hey, hey. And I be like, hey, I just want to hit the ropes. I want to jump off the top rope. Bow, right onto you right quick. But J News, y'all gonna see a lot more J News. Girl gotta take a break sometimes. But I'll be behind the scenes. But J News got this. He done did this before.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he'll listen. I can't wait for it. Listen, 10. She's talking about now you need to remind me of that. Listen, sometimes, some time ago, I used to act a fool on these worldwide streets. If you check it out, you check it out. I ain't telling you where you can find it. But it's in the World Wide Web. It's on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and everywhere else. But I'm trying to turn a new leaf. 10 is laying her hand. Ruby is praying for me every day that I keep my composure. But some of y'all pushing it. Okay? Just a warning. Don't make me come off the top rope and hit the rope on you. Okay? Let's go. This is a good man, Savannah. A good man, Savannah. And we got to get up out of here, okay?
Right, right.
So, like I say all the time, ladies and gentlemen, guess what, J News? Can you guess what happening?
It's about
Can
that
I get
time. It is a little bit hot out here in these New York City apartment buildings because it's cold
yeah,
outside. So
yeah,
when it gets too hot,
yeah.
it's sometimes you just got to, in order to conserve some of that energy that creates all that heat, we got to turn the lights off. You know,
Oh,
turn the lights off.
dog. It's got dog scared me so bad. Oh my god.
So
Listen.
yeah,
And yes, kicking the root. Sometimes you need to go off the top rope with some people. I have been kind. And in 2025, it ain't happening no more. Okay? If I don't speak to you, don't speak to me. If I don't like you, you don't like me. Okay? This we on this type of time. Okay? But they call it COE crash out. It's time for some of y'all to understand that it's real in the veil. And I have been nice and quiet too long. Okay? Just a warning. Cause next time it's gonna be a shot across the bow. Bow! Real quick. As Jay News said, when I say Jay News on the old podcast, bow! That's what's gonna happen. I've been nice too long. But I'm having a great day. And I enjoy that Jay News is back. And I can't wait to see you all next week. Okay? And until then, I want to say peace.